Hey guys, it's CJ. Today I wanted to talk about this absolute war that's going on inside Twitter right now about whether Tesla should advertise or not advertise. So I'm going to tell you what I think and if they should advertise, when they should do it. First thing I should say is I'm not an advertising expert, so take this all with a grain of salt. My MBA is in finance, my undergrad's in accounting and business. So advertising isn't my thing. So I'm going to be looking at this just from like the numbers perspective. So the first thing we look at is what kind of kicked this off again. Elon tweeted, he was talking about the air purification system. He's like, most people have no idea just how good the Tesla air purification system is, literally 10 times better than any other car. This was shown, I remember during the wildfires in California, some of the Teslas were able to drive right through the roads that were just covered in smoke, and the inside of the Tesla was just completely fine because they have this massive HEPA filter inside of it. But anyway, he says maybe we should advertise informationally just so people know stuff like this exists. And this kicked off this whole thing about, okay, well, should Tesla advertise or not advertise? Because right now they don't do any real material traditional advertising where they spend millions and millions of dollars like maybe Ford or GM or Toyota does. They don't really have that budget. They could, they don't need to. And in the past, I've been pretty against the idea of Tesla advertising because it doesn't make sense from a numbers perspective for them to advertise, in my opinion. Because if you think about it, they're constrained and they can only produce so many products. So if you can only produce 1 million cars in a year and all of your cars are on back order by weeks or months, what good does it do to advertise? Because advertising, for the most part, is a tool to increase demand. So all you're doing is creating more demand for cars that you can't make fast enough. So it doesn't seem like a great strategy to me, because you either increase the wait times on your vehicles or you can lower demand by raising the price of the vehicle. So you could, in theory, you could increase demand by advertising, and then you could lower it and increase your prices and have higher margins. But then you have to figure out, okay, well, did my advertising costs so much that that increase in price is completely offset by the amount I increased? You know, it may not make sense. And I've been that way, that sort of thinking for a long time now, until I saw a tweet by Gary Black, which maybe changed my mind a little bit. Gary Black's a well-known financial analyst, a big Tesla bull. And he wrote, I welcome any change in Tesla's long-held policy against any kind of advertising. When Tesla was the only EV game in town, there was no reason to advertise. With the FSD rollout coming, information ads can play a key role in differentiating Tesla or select models versus other EVs. So I thought that was a good point. I don't know if what I'm thinking was his point or not, but so like I said earlier, they're production constrained. Trying to sell more cars doesn't make much sense to me because they can't physically sell any more cars. But when I read this tweet, it did dawn on me that you could kill two birds with one stone here, right? Because the fleet of Tesla is growing exponentially. There are over 1 million Teslas already on the road. A very small percentage of those Teslas are using full self-driving because full self-driving is very expensive. It's, I think, like $10,000 right now. So it's a very expensive option. If very soon, the rumors seem to be implying, Tesla is going to release the beta version of their full self-driving software into the public, so it won't be beta anymore, and they will allow a subscription version of it, that could be a good time to advertise. In other words, Tesla has a beta version of their software, which look something like this, right? So this beta version's out there running right now, and no one in the public knows anything about this in general. Tesla bulls, we all know about it. We watch the videos. This is Holmar's catalog. It's amazing. It sees all the pedestrians, it sees all the cars. It's not geofenced, it's driving itself. It's already doing this. If this makes it into all the Teslas, and instead of having to pay $10,000, you have a subscription so that you pay maybe $200 a month, say $2,400 a year, then you could run advertisements on something where you're not production constrained because it's already been produced, right? If you were able to increase the demand lever so that 100,000 people in the fleet decide, whoa, I need this right now, and they're paying $2,400 a year, that's $240 million a year. And guess what? It's going to keep getting better. So those people that sign up for the subscription are probably going to get it the following year. And then it's going to continue to grow, and the fleet's going to get bigger. So I guess my point is, in the past, I haven't thought advertising was a great idea because you're just trying to sell more cars, and you don't have any cars to sell. So I mean, what's the point? Maybe you could raise the prices a little, but they seem to be doing that anyway. And the government is lowering the prices on the consumer end. So Tesla's been able to raise the prices anyhow. So demand has not been an issue. But you could increase demand for their software. And the software has already been produced. The hardware that runs it has already been produced. And it's in all these Teslas, and it's not currently being utilized. So I think this information brought to the public would have a material impact potentially on actual gross profit in the short term. And it would also make the people that are pushing for advertising for Teslas in general, it would probably make them pretty happy because this, well, it would be doing just that. So anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on full self-driving. I think that would be a good time to pull out the stops on advertising, and I think they may just do that. When all this rolls out, I don't know. I keep being told probably 2 weeks by Mr. Musk, so we'll see. But I wouldn't be so surprised to see this being advertised, the end of this year, the beginning of next year. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. Thanks.